This is our 370Z project, and today we're going to be installing the BC Racing coilovers. Here are the coilovers as well as the ISR rear toe arms. We're getting rid of that bucket so we have a true coil in the rear to match the front. These are the street version as well, so they come with different style bushings. Go ahead and get these wheels taken off, and I'll tell you what we need in order to do the coilovers. On to the next. What the? All you have to do is disconnect the 12mm that holds the brake hose to the strut. Then you have to take off the 14 that holds together the knuckle to the upper control arm. And then down here, the sway bar link is actually a part of the bolt that goes in and mounts the strut. So you have to remove this nut for the sway bar link as well as the bolt itself. It'll come out after you loosen the nut that's on the other side. Then the 3 bolts that hold it up top, that's it. Just remove the brake line, just like that. Remove the upper control arm. Loosen this nut. This is the nut that attaches to the bolt that goes to the sway bar link. Just gun it off or use a wrench, whatever you got. Take off the other side, which is right here. And then that comes out. So your strut. Voila. Slower it down and gun off the 6 nuts, so 3 and 3 for the top hats, so that way the shock can just fall out. BC's put back in. Don't touch that! Yo! You had to take off the crossbar in order to get to the bolts. Man, it's just the 14 guys. Pow. Pow. 2 clips, one right here, one right there, and then your rubber guard that goes across. Give it a little pop. There you go. Now you got it out. It's just all clips. Just shimmy it on both sides. And then take your last 2 14s off. Boom. Now, take this bar off. Just like that. Wow, this thing is kind of heavy. Yeah, let's get to the fun stuff, man. So those are gonna be 12s. I'm gonna grab an extension. And then you just break them loose. There you go. Try not to drop them, because knowing a Z, you'll never find that bolt again. And just like that, your stock cruddy old, that is out. Well, there's a gasket on it. Yes, sir. Let's go get them. All right, we'll do the right side first. Where the old bolts are that you took off, there's this black metal like bracket. Leave that on there to use on this next set, that's all. Remember, brake line on the left. So when you're lining up the coilover, you have these 2 open inserts. These are gonna be for your ABS wires, and that for the ABS wire. This on the other side that has the stud and nut is gonna be for your brake hose. Make sure when you put it in the right way. And the strut sits in between the 2 lines. Don't cross them around, nothing. They sit on the side. Let's go ahead and get this in here. No. Wrench. It's silver. It's bigger than that. Sure, yeah, I'll use that. Thank you. Oh, thanks. I hope this is the right size. Aha, it is. I just have to twist this slightly because this wasn't straight with this lining up right here. Triple check that you check all of the bolts and that they are tight as can be, and then go back and do it a fourth time. And then after that, make sure that you tighten down and lock your coilovers in place. They might seem tight, but they can still move. You have to lock them in with your spanner tools. All right, now we're on to the driver's side. We're gonna get this side installed. If you could please go get me the coilover for the front, please. Thank you. I'm gonna get all the tools ready. That's the back. Those are expired donuts that we just bought earlier. Sides together now. Like I said on the last one, quadruple 5X. Check your bolts. Make sure you mount these back up. That way they're not flopping around. Your tire rubs through them and stuff. You need those. Now we're gonna get the cross member back on. And then go to the rear and take the car out. Sweet, it's a new day, guys. We're getting onto the rear. The rear is gonna be a little bit longer than the fronts were because we have to install the ISR rear tow arms because we're deleting the buckets, go to a true style coilover. But let's get into it now. I just supported underneath of the bucket so that way when I loosen that back bolt, I can take it out and that spring doesn't just go flying. If you're on the ground, it's probably easier. You can just set a jack under here, just support it up, remove this bolt back here, slowly kind of lower it down or depress the jack, get the spring out, and you can remove this bolt. The whole bucket comes out and you replace it with the ISR tow arms. And then move on to the shock, and then the new coilover replaces the whole shock. That's pretty much it. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. So the only thing that's gonna be different from the front tools is now you need a 19mm wrench. So you can hold the other side of the bolt for the nuts. That's really the only thing you gotta add into your arsenal now. And then your 17s. I don't even think you need the 14 this time. And then a 12 for the two top studs that are up here. There's two nuts that sit up there and it'll drop it out after you disconnect. I wanna say this is a 17. Let's do it, let's get into it. I had to get a wobble socket. You can use an extension. I prefer a wobble socket, it's a little bit better. They literally just drove it as their fun weekend car. There we go. And then now, we just lower this puppy down. La-da-dee, la-da-doo, la-da-dee, la-da-doo. This is the most nerve-wracking part. You gotta think about the amount of load that is on this spring right now. Not anymore. Now we're good. Sketchy part is out of the way. Let's take this one off and let the whole thing fall out. Oh my lord. 370Z buckets are out. I am now just putting these ISR tow arms in. These things come off. So just take them off till you gotta put it up so you don't have to worry about it. Because they will just fall out. It's kind of annoying, so like one's way over there. I'm extending the tow arm out, that way it lines up the bolt holes. It comes fully pressed in when you get it. Slide it back up here like that. Put her through, that on there. She is reassembled. Now it's just this bolt and then the 2 studs that are up there. Reverse that process. That's basically the rears. Just like that.
Bro, is that a trumpet?
I ate a lot of dust just then. Okay, it's in there. For the nut, so BC provides a nut because on the OEM one, the nut is actually welded in on the backside of the strut. So they provide you with a locking nut. If you don't have one for some reason, make sure you get one with the locking stuff on the inside so it doesn't back out. And now I'm gonna take this thing, push up on the knuckle till you line it up. Exactly, just with the right tools. You know? And we're done. All we gotta do is lock this in place. On to the next side, guys. Lost one of the bolts. One of them fell out down there. I don't know where it went. I don't see it in the bucket. Oh, dude, it's sitting right here on the edge of the arm.
Good chances of that.
What the heck? Perfection. The most scariest part, guys, every time. I've done these quite a few times now, and it still startles me every time. Hey, look, it didn't fall out this time. Done. Got this. Lowering it down just a little bit so I can put the wheels on. All right, guys, there you have it. That's the BC Racing coilover install. Stay tuned for what's next on this 370Z.